A lot of people launch their brand like they're building a house of cards. A logo here, a website there, a few social posts sprinkled in. It might look like progress, but in 2026, that approach will collapse faster than ever because those things aren't a brand, they're decorations. What you need is a blueprint. Without it, you'll keep spinning your wheels, guessing what matters, and wondering why people aren't taking your business seriously. At Fledgeful, we take subject matter experts through this exact step-by-step process, turning their hard-earned expertise into real brands that attract clients and create freedom. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through that exact blueprint. The blueprint doesn't actually start where you think. In fact, almost every new business owner skips this, and that mistake is why most brands never get off the ground. Laying the foundation. Launching a business is a lot like building a house. The very first decision isn't about the walls or the roof, it's about where and what you're going to build. If you choose sand, the ground shifts beneath you. The walls crack, the structure wobbles, and eventually it collapses under pressure. But if you choose solid ground and pour a reinforced foundation, everything you build on top of it lasts. The walls hold straight, the roof doesn't cave, and even when storms hit, the house stands strong. And here's the part most new business owners miss. When it comes to launching a brand, almost everyone is unknowingly building on sand. So, how do you make sure you build your business on solid ground? Well, at Fledgeful, we take all of our clients through 3 workshops designed to uncover the foundation of your brand. The first is the brand core. Here, we lock in your vision, values, and purpose. This gives your brand a backbone, so every decision you make connects back to something meaningful. Next is brand positioning. We map out your customer, competitors, and differentiation. This is how you find your space in the market, so you don't blend in with everyone else. Then, we look at your brand persona. We'll shape your personality, voice, and perceptions. This is what makes your brand feel human, relatable, instead of just another faceless business. By the end of these sessions, you'll have complete clarity on who you are, who you serve, and how you show up. That clarity is what makes every decision after this faster, easier, and far more effective. But clarity on its own isn't enough. If it just lives in your head, it won't do much good. And that's why the next step is so important: distilling a strategy. Launching a brand without structure is like walking into an orchestra rehearsal where every musician is just tuning their instrument. The violins are squeaking, the trumpets are blaring, the drums are thumping. There's sound everywhere, but no music. It's only when the sheet music comes out that everything changes. Suddenly, all those separate sounds come together into a harmony. You can hear the rhythm, the melody, the flow, and now the performance makes sense. And here's the truth: most new business owners never get past the noise. So, how do you make sure your brand actually plays music, not just chaos? You need a clear playbook, something that organizes all the insights you've gathered and put them into a structure that you can actually use. This is where your big ideas stop floating around in your head and start living on paper. Inside this playbook, you'll define your purpose statement, the reason your brand exists beyond making money, your vision statement, where you're headed, and what success looks like, your values, the principles that guide how you operate and make decisions, your differentiation statement, the thing that sets you apart from the competition, your customer avatar and competitor insights, clarity on who you're for and who you're up against, your brand personality and perceptions, how your brand feels to others, and the way you want people to talk about you when you're not in the room. Once this is all written down, you're not randomly playing your instrument anymore. You're aligned. You have sheet music that brings harmony to every decision you make. But here's the catch: even with a clear playbook, none of it matters if your messaging doesn't grab and hold your ideal customer's attention. Magnetic messaging. Your messaging is a lot like a dating app profile. A flashy photo might get someone to stop scrolling, but if the rest of the profile doesn't connect with what they're actually looking for, the conversation goes nowhere. It's the same in business and branding. Sure, you can grab attention with a clever ad or a catchy tagline, but if your message doesn't line up with the customer's needs, problems, and desires, they'll keep scrolling. The only way to build real connection is by making sure your message is both attention-grabbing and aligned with the people you want to attract. So, how do you make sure your brand is sending the right signals? We take all the clarity from your playbook and we turn that into words people actually feel connected to, starting with your brand name and tagline. It should be simple, memorable, and create some hooks that spark recognition. Your brand story and logline. Think of this like the synopsis of a movie. Your customer is the hero, and your brand is the guide that helps them overcome obstacles and accomplish their goals. This makes your message instantly relatable and human. Your core messaging. Instead of scrambling to write fresh copy every time you launch a product, send an email, or post on social media, you'll have a bank of proven lines, phrases, and positioning that you can pull from. This keeps your message consistent, effective, and saves you from second guessing. When you do this right, your ideal customers stop, nod their head, raise their hand, and say, "I'll take some, please." But even the strongest message needs something to carry it visually. Because if your brand looks weak or inconsistent, people will tune out before they ever listen. Dress for success. Think about the way you dress for an important moment. If you showed up to a job interview in sweatpants and an old t-shirt, people probably wouldn't take you seriously, no matter how smart or capable you are. But if you walked in with a sharp, well-fitted outfit, suddenly the same person feels credible, confident, and worth listening to. And here's the key. It's not just about looking nice. You wouldn't wear a tuxedo to coach your kid's soccer game or flip-flops to a boardroom meeting. No. The outfit has to fit the occasion and send the right message. Your brand visuals work the exact same way. They need to be designed for the right audience and crafted to drive the right feelings. But how do you do that? By following a proven creative process, one that I've done hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. Start with customer and competitive research, so we know exactly what your ideal clients want to see, trust, and respond to. What else they're seeing in the marketplace. And make sure that your brand doesn't just blend in with the noise, but instead carves out space that's unmistakably yours. Then move to creative ideation. There are many techniques we implement, but my favorite is called the visual vocabulary. We define the key concepts that will drive customer conversion, then define what those concepts look like with reference imagery. This allows us to know what the abstract concepts your customers desire actually look like. From here, we can reverse engineer the visual identity to match these desired perceptions. That way, your brand is dressed for the occasion and communicates exactly what it should to the right audience. This includes creating all the visual assets your brand will ever need, like a logo design, secondary logo design lockups, and supporting colors, fonts, textures, patterns, photos, as well as any other visuals needed. When complete, everything from all the previous steps, including this step, get compiled into your brand guidebook. This is the master document that ties everything together, your strategy, messaging, visuals, all under one roof. Then, you use this document as the strong foundation from which to build your house upon. Each and every piece of marketing will use it again and again and again. If you follow this blueprint, you'll launch your business in 2026 on the strongest foundation possible. Now, I want to hear from you. Connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a quick message. What are you building? Tell me about the businesses or the brand that you're working on. I'd love to hear your story.